Once upon a time, when the world was dark and love was hard to find, she was the light that I found as the world spun round and round. Together, the two of us in March forever will fight through the endless abyss of emptiness inside. Nothing would change this. I thought our love would never end, but I'm lost in someone else's time. A love that haunts me from before this life. All those years searching for those eyes, a passion lost left in time. I saw her stare back through the window, a lifetime of search, and finally, who's that stranger there beside her? I thought we were meant to be, lost in someone else's time. A love that haunts me from before this life. All those years searching for those eyes, a passion lost left in time. I thought we'd spend this life forever. Now I'm damned to live this one lonely. The two of us entwined forever. Well, she controls my destiny, lost in someone else's time. A love that haunts me from before this life. All those years searching for those eyes, a passion lost left in time, lost in my mind. So where do I find what's been burned for an age and now torn from the page? What shall I do? I guess I'll hold on and just remember. Once upon a time, when the world was dark and love was hard to find.
Aha! How's that? Thank you, person that's watching. Thanks, Kool-Aid. I do appreciate it. Now my mic's on. I guess I'll start over because no one heard me because I muted my mic, so I was testing out stuff earlier. Welcome to Braxxis Tube. So, hey, it's the first show, so what did you think was going to happen? Like, it was going to be smooth and I actually knew what I was going to do? Like, you know, obviously I'm going to have screw-ups. So, turning on the microphone, good tip for anyone that's starting their own stream. Turn on the microphone. Very important step. So, now, let's get back to it. Two things that we want to do on this channel. One is I want to be able to share the music that I've been writing and producing, and specifically this over here, this album you see, Full Disclosure. It's an album I wrote in 2016 when we move to our new home here, and I'm going to apologize for it because I'm actually streaming from an unfinished basement. So unfortunately, you're going to hear any sounds from upstairs, or the heater kicking on, or water coming. There's only so many things I can do from here, but it's the passion that's here. That's what's important. So here's what we're going to be streaming. So full disclosure, Alma Road 2016. I want to be able to share this with you guys, all the way from the production to putting in tracks that need to be added, to finally releasing it. And we'll have plenty of time to talk about this, but long story short is this album I was very focused on. It was set to go, and so many things fell out of place for it to happen. At the end of it, we just started, Double Jack is my band. These are the songs I was writing for. Kind of not broke up, but just stopped playing, stopped jamming. It didn't happen. So these songs that I wrote and the tracks that we had literally was sitting on a hard drive for 2 years doing absolutely nothing. So this is part of the process I want to share with you guys, is bringing these tracks, mixing them, and bringing them to life together and being able to share it with you. And how we're going to do that is I'm going to play the original tracks that I recorded on an iPad. So that's all I had in 2016. And I would share those tracks, these songs, with the band members to show them what I was doing. So you'll get to hear that, and then we'll do the transition all the way to the final product. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing on this channel, is going to be music and stuff that I've written. Second that we're going to be doing, something that's very close to my heart, are these. So when Double Jack kind of sort of fell off the map a little bit and I didn't have a creative outlet, I actually downloaded a game, and if you guys haven't played it, it's absolutely fantastic. It's called Divinity Original Sin 2 by Larian Studios, and it was an amazing game. And so I played the first act, got out of Fort Joy. For anyone that's played it, had a blast. And then just because I was on the news feed for Larian Studios, a video popped up from a gentleman by the name of Matt Mercer. And I don't know if anyone, I'm sure if you're into D&D or know anything about, voice actors, Matt Mercer is absolutely huge. He's got one of the biggest D&D channels on Twitch. It's absolutely fantastic. So watching that video and being like, whoa, he's like telling his story to his friends using a video game. This is insane. Like, can I do this? Is this possible? So I started, watching all the videos and tutorials, and sure enough, I got into something called DM mode, or GM mode, sorry. Game Master mode, and started creating these campaigns. So I've started reaching out to different Twitch streamers to see if they've been interested. We had a one or two that said they might be, so we'll see if that comes to fruition. But yeah, so there's the 4 campaigns there. So I have the live succession, and that one's very important to me because I did that one for my friends solely, and when I released it, it got very popular very quick. I think it's up to something like 70,000 views on the Steam Workshop, which still blows my mind to even think about it. And one of the guys, Tigon, who's always been kind of helping me with ideas for maps and stuff, he let me know that Larian Studios actually posted a thing on Facebook for Live Succession. As they were backing it. They were like, hey, take your friends to Live Succession, it's cool. So that was really neat. So it kind of started this thing. And Sarah from Sanctum, that was the second campaign I wrote. I wrote that for my buddy's bachelor party, so we all got together and played that one through. The Last Conquest is the most recent one that I wrote, and that one is it's got some kind of bug where I can't even release it, and I've talked to Larian Studios, and because of the mods I'm using, prevents me from doing it. So I definitely want to stream that one and record it so that it has some place to live. That's kind of what all this is about, is a videography of stuff I'm very passionate about and want to make sure I can go revisit it in places like YouTube later. And we're going to do it's funny because that's not the last one. The Last Conquest actually is the very last one I wrote, but the one that you see at the very bottom of that is, Honorbound Tales from the Spire, Poison Oak Chapter 1. So I want to do that one last in case there's any interest through this entire process of wanting to continue that story, because I would definitely continue writing that one. We'd have to change some maps, change some stuff, and move it into definitive mode, which is their final polished release mode. But this is the idea. This is what I want to be doing with this channel. So just want to do a quick introduction breakdown with my mic on. So thank you for that, because I would have been talking for 2 hours with a mute thing on and then went back to my recording and went, oh, none of that works. So that would have been embarrassing. So we're going to start with we're just going to do music tonight. That's the plan tonight. So we're going to go through a song called Arthur. I'm going to give you a quick little background on this. I'm a fantasy geek, so a lot of my music, kind of ties into fantasy themes. So the song Arthur you're about to hear, it's my little twist on it. So how I kind of saw it would be neat is that this is the traditional, story of Arthur where he's pulling the sword from the stone in order to, release Excalibur and defend Britain. But I thought it'd be interesting if, in my mind, if Arthur he didn't have the power given him by some, divine right or bloodline or something like that. He was actually just he's a noble king, of course, but, obviously an undiscovered king, but he's trying to save his people, but he doesn't have the resources and he doesn't have the power. And, the only way he's able to release Excalibur from the stone is to make a deal with the son of the devil. And, it's kind of this, give and take thing. He knows what's going to happen is that when he makes this deal, if he decides to go through, that he will be able to release Excalibur and he'll be able to defend his people. But the catch is with any deal, that has, with the dark side, I guess, with the devils, there's consequences. So he doesn't want his immortal soul. He wants something even worse. He's preventing him essentially from crossing over to Avalon. So he's been denied access to the place where he gets to go and be with his loved ones and kin and family. And the story is he goes through that. He pulls the sword from the stone and he defends his people and he ultimately wins and defeats evil, but in turn has to accept the evil that he, brought upon himself and can't see any of his loved ones in Avalon. So that's the basic breakdown. So we're going to check that out now. And for a little old school tradition back in the day when I'd be listening to tunes, I like some visual aids. I like some cool stuff to look at when that's happening. So we're going to do that and, go back to the old school way of, listening to music and enjoying it. So hope you guys enjoy this. This one's Arthur, original 2016 track on an iPad. It's going to sound horrific, but at the same time, I hope you guys enjoy what I was, trying to accomplish here. So here we go.
There comes a time where a man chooses right or wrong. Are you the chosen one? Prophecy, born to fall, ready to bleed, paralyzed, time stands still, turn and run and find nowhere. We're the counting down low, may the storm and the weather, I'll take the deal when the son of the devil. I will not cross the gates of Babylon, sacrifice in the fire. Live my soul with the ears of a sinner, day by day, and all my soul with a thinner hand. I cannot cross the gates of Babylon. Wrapped in legend, molded with destiny. Can you pull the sword from the stone? Blistered and broken, your tale's been told. Understand what it means to be, shine a man for all to see. He's a coward down low, may the storm and the weather take the deal from the son of the devil. I will not cross the gates of Babylon, sacrifice in the fire. I live my soul with the ears of a sinner, day by day, and all my soul with a better end. I cannot cross the gates of Babylon.
Woo. So there it is, iPad quality, just awesome. But yeah, that brings back memories. I literally remember laying all those tracks down on the iPad, using the iPad microphone, using a small little cord, that came in with the old school iPad adapter. I could plug my guitar in, and I mean, yeah, is it amazing sound quality? Obviously not, but at the same time, it meant a lot to me. So what we're going to be doing this evening is that I've got all the tracks laid down from the previous studio session, but the bass line didn't quite come through. It was mostly root notes, and I really wanted to capture the bass line that I wrote originally in 2016. So we're going to try our best to lay that down for you this evening. So we're going to switch over to the production side of things, and show you what we got going. So it took me a while. It's been I mixed the first album I ever did, and a buddy of mine, Kool-Aid, actually, who told me that my mic wasn't working, helped me build the computer to do so. But I haven't mixed an album since 2003. So let's just say Audition took me just a few YouTube videos and tutorials from people much better and more experienced than I am. So I've kind of got my head wrapped around it. So for this first stream, I sort of wanted to get everything laid out as best I could. We're going to be doing other streaming shows where we're going to take the tracks raw, bring them in together, mix them, add effects, all that stuff, and show you the process now that I kind of know what's going on. But for this first one, I sort of wanted it to be as close as possible. Because I really didn't want the first stream to be, me messing around trying to figure out how to arm a track, or, hey, even turn on a microphone, right? That's one of those things you got to learn the hard way. So, this is now the new version, I guess, the one that has all the lovely tracks laid out. So let's take a, there it is. It's amazing. The day and age, right? Sound waves. It's almost music you can paint a picture these days. So, what we're going to do before we lay down the bass track is I wanted to play you guys a section that I found, and I think you've only heard the song once, but in this particular one I think I've got a pretty decent mix happening with all the music, but there's a little drum fill that happens right before the break, and I think I just want to increase the volume of all the drums, just by a couple dB to really make that shine, because everything else really pops. And I'll show you what I mean here. There'll be no vocals on this track too. That's going to be a separate, an entire stream series where I'm going to be renting out a space that has good acoustics, and I'll be inviting some friends, and we're going to be singing all the vocals, together, kind of thing, for all these tracks. So pretty much what we're going to be doing here is just music, and I'll be adding 12-string guitar, acoustic guitar, additional solo stuff, bass, obviously, stuff like that. So anyway, I just want to play you this quick part here, let you know what I'm talking about. Turn my mix up good. Okay, so it's this part coming up here. I just wanted to get a sense of the volume. So Jack's guitar, my lead guitar player, is going to come in. All right, it's punchy, it's big, and then this part. Yeah, that's the part I'm talking about. And I realized my headphones are backwards. Left is right and right is left. I've heard this enough to know that. So yeah, I'm just going to, I'm just going to separate that track here, and I think I'm just going to increase the drum level of this little fill that happens right here, just by a bit, right after the lead guitar comes off. So what we're going to do here is select all these tracks. Probably going to zoom in a little more just to make it easier on myself. I can see exactly what I'm doing. So I've color coded all these tracks. I'm sure everyone does it. I recommend it to anyone that doesn't. It's just so much easier. I know that everything green is going to be a drum track, and I think what we want to do is we want to go from this. I believe this is the first snare hit. And let's make it easier, and let's just take our selection tool here, and we're going to just highlight this little bit. And then we're going to loop it, and just so we can hear exactly what we're trying to do here if we lay down the bass. Yeah, that's the first snare. That's what we want. So at least now we know we found the spot. So we don't need this selected anymore. We're going to cancel that time selection. And we are going to select every single one of these glorious drum tracks. And the overheads. Perfect. Okay, we're going to need our little cut tool here because we really just want to cut this section out, because what we're going to do is going to be individually increasing the volume of all these, right? Just a couple dB. We don't want to do it to the entire track, just this little bit here. So we're going to cut right before, you know what? I think I'll go in even a little closer. There we go. That's right there. That should be fine. So we're going to make one incision there. And then we'll go back to our selector tool. And yep, did I miss one? I did. Grab all these again. And then we're going to go to the end of this fill. Just got to make sure that is. That is it right there. So we'll go to the end of that sound wave, and then we're going to make a secondary cut. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go back to our selector tool. We're going to zoom in even more here. And right at the bottom of all these, you can kind of see them. They're like little volume buttons. They look like little volume knobs. We're going to go in even closer, actually. And we're just going to, when you slide this wheel, you can increase it from 0. And I'm just going to increase this like 3 dB. 3 dB on everything. And I think that's going to give it, it's going to be subtle, but it's amazing when you're doing this stuff, you know, how the littlest change really does make a difference. I mean, for me, I've been listening to this stuff now for, you know, nonstop at the gym for the past, you know, 2 weeks, I guess, with this particular song. Trust me, I won't be doing the same thing with all the rest. We'll try to keep this, you know, production going a little quicker. But, you know, just to get a sense of it. And you know what? I don't think we'll do Tom 3 because it's part. Oh, we'll do Tom 3 to 3 dB. I don't think we have to worry about the overheads. We'll see. But let's just let's take a listen to this again. And I've really found that the best way to do this is to just loop sections, right? So you grab your time, what you want to listen to. You know, it's already looped, and then you just get an idea. Yeah, all right, just a little. I'm happy. Just a little punchier, right? So we're going to clear that time section. We now have, you know, a small fix. And trust me, the one thing about live recording, because we did this live off the floor, there's a lot of little fixes. I don't believe music needs to be perfect, like absolutely perfect to enjoy it, but it should definitely at least be on time. So yeah, there's a couple things we had to, you know, fix here and there, but that's okay. That's how it is. Okay, so now we've reached this point. We're gonna do something fun here. So this is where we're gonna record a live bass track to this puppy. So the plan is we're going to record a live bass track. Hopefully I nail it in the first take. It might take 1 or 2 because, hey, this is live and that stuff happens. But we'll, you know, see how it goes. Then we're going to apply some effects to the bass. We're going to go to the general mixer. We're going to mix it all together. Then we're going to export it afterwards. And then, you know, see what we got kind of thing, right? And, you know, we'll sort of go from there. But let's check it out. So we're gonna just give me a second here. I'm one of those people that likes to play standing up, and I think it's because I've been on stage for so long that sitting and practicing has never, you know, really worked for me. So I've always found it easier to kind of stand and do my thing. So we're gonna take you over to the recording live tracks theme. All right, so here we are. So this one is kind of a fun scene because I figured, you know, I've never had a studio, I've never owned a studio, but if I was going to, I would definitely, spray paint a Cosmos on all my, like muffler foam, because why wouldn't you? Sounds like super fun. So what we're going to do here is we're going to attempt to play this entire song all the way through without any screw-ups. Definitely no promises on this, but just to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing here. And I have to be very careful on a couple parts, because there's a couple parts in this song where I do want to slap the bass a bit. And slapping the bass is really, you think, like, you see those guys that are just going nuts, but I mean, they have really taken their sound specifically to be able to, accommodate a really hard slap. But this is not, like, this song is very, a lot of the bass lines are soft, it's got like a nice melody to it. So my bass is actually pretty loud in the mix. So it's it's kind of, I want it to be subtle. So when it does come time to slap time, I have to be really cautious. So hopefully I don't make a huge farting sound and ruin this whole thing. For the recording, I am going to mute my microphone, and then I see I can take off loop. I've already armed the track. We should be good to go. So I will see you on the other side. Wish me luck, and we'll see what happens. Okay, not bad, not bad. I'm probably, just to do my due diligence here, I'm probably going to record a second one all the way through, and then we can decide, which one we like, sort of thing. But that's usually, how I do it, because you never know, right? Like, you think you got a good track, and then it's like, it's okay, it's oh, that one went way up here. I'd like to move you, please. Let's move down here to where the bass is. So we're going to call this bass 2. We're going to roll this one more time. We'll disarm this puppy. We'll open this one up. Arm this puppy. And bass is coming through. Apologize, you're going to have to hear this song one more time. But, like I said, you just want to make sure you kind of get it. So we're going to do this one more time, see how it works, and then we'll kind of pick and choose and see which take we want the best. So let's roll this back to the beginning and pick the start time, record, and I'm going to mute my microphone one more time here and see you on the other side. Bunch of rookie mistakes. I realized, hey, halfway through that track, I'm like, I'm playing along with myself. I hear the other bass playing. Well, I guess that'll help me keep in time. I just said, whatever, let's go for it, see what happens. Sounded okay to me. Let me kill the feed on this. Both those takes sounded pretty good. I think between both of those, we're going to be able to try, find something that's going to work for this song. That is for sure. All right, get that chord out of the way. All right, so let's go back to our production side of things. Okay, so we've got 2 lovely bass tracks here. So this is the really fun part. You get to listen to the song over and over and over. Oh my goodness, it's so exciting. But it's part of the whole deal. You just got to make sure, you get the right tracks, the right take. One thing that I've done, I noticed on this bass, regardless of bass 2, is I have not added the effects channel, the effects rack, I guess, to the second one. So kind of messed around before this. Wanted to find, wanted to find a bass sound that I liked, and using master and chorus and a tube model compressor, I found something I really liked. I guess I can turn off the stage lighting to a nice cool blue. So let's go ahead and apply this one. So we're going to select this track. As you can see, there's nothing here but the default. Go down to the drop list, and I think I just named it bass guitar. There it is. Nice and simple. Let's disarm this track just in case you don't do anything ridiculous. There's no need to listen to the beginning of this song whatsoever. Let's mute the first one. I think the second take was better on a whole, but we're going to find out here and see what we think. Of course, I'll have to adjust the volume. I have no idea how loud this is going to be, but here we go. We'll take that out. I am also a wannabe drummer, in case anyone knows. Okay, that sounded pretty on time. Big thing about bass too is that I don't, for anyone that isn't a bass player, and I'm not a bass player, I'm mostly a guitar player, but when I'm listening to bass, I'm trying to listen for overly farty tones that I don't like, but mostly I gotta make sure that when I'm hitting those notes, I'm there at the kick, right? Because the bass guitar and the kick are, they're together, they're symbiotic. If they're off, it's painfully noticeable. But so far, nothing's jumped out as, oop, that's off time, so I'm happy about that. Oh, nice. See, that slapping? Just enough, right? Not too much. Okay, so far track 1 is seeming pretty good. I mean, we'll see if we gotta mess with it anymore. You live by the sword with the edge of a sinner, and day by day, my soul's getting thinner, and I will not cross the gates of Babylon. Oh, it's a Babylon. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that riff came through. Whew. I don't know. Sounded pretty good. I think I could work with that take, that is for sure. But we're here anyway, and in case you haven't heard this song enough, that's the great thing about mixing. Even, trust me, as the composer, you're the first one to get sick of your song. That's why my heart always goes, well, my heart always doesn't go out to him, because, trust me, there's a day that doesn't go by that thinks, man, would it ever been cool if I ever made it, because if you ever get that honor to play a song that people show up to see that they love so much, bet your ass I'm going to love it, or at least pretend I love it for every single show. But I'm just telling you this, as the composer of a tune, especially if it's catchy and you have to play it over and over, you're the first one to get sick of it. That I promise you. And now, for our 4 viewers, you can get sick of it with me, right? Isn't this a great bonding experience? It'd be so cool. So we just listened to the first one. I've already copied the effects from the effects rack. We're listening to the second one. I'll just skip this and let's see how this one goes. Just gonna turn it down a bit. I'm farting a little bit. I guess I was playing with a little more attack, a little more confident. You're always a little more confident the second take. Just a little bit. There we go. Thank you, Commander Steele. Says he's never, Commander Steele, he's never gonna get sick of this song. But trust me, I'll bet you. Let's go through it 40 more times tonight. Just make sure that these bass tracks are really good. I don't know what it is. I'm sort of feeling the first one more. I don't know why. Yeah, just I think the other one had more, like, I know I was tentative, but the first one has a little more feel. Like, this one seems like, you can see the red lines out, like, I know I'm turning up the volume, but yeah, I don't know. First one sounds better so far. One take in and out, I guess. Oh, I love that. That slap sound is nice, just cuts through. Bow, bow. Ooh. I actually like this part better than the first one, though. I might... Here's Studio Magic. We'll take that section from the second one, put it in the first one. Always we can make this work. That might what be happening. We might be taking that from this track, muting the other one, merging the two. Done deal. Don't even worry about it. Boom. One done take. No one knows the difference. Except for anyone that watches this or sees it on YouTube. Actually, this is the only part of the song I played root notes, because Jack, my guitar player, is having so much fun with the wah, and you know, I kind of bounce it in and out. That's the only time I go root note, is at the end of the song, just bow, 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 because there's so much other stuff happening. Okay, so I think the decision has been made, in my mind anyway. First track is better all around, but I did notice that the breakdown, the boom doom was better on the second. So we're gonna cut that, put it in the first, boom boom, and I think we're gonna be good. We'll do a final all around mix, and then you know, we'll export this puppy. We'll listen to it one more time on our lovely music player, and then we're gonna introduce you to the next song we're gonna do. We're not going to do that tonight. Tonight was just, it's my first stream. This is really all I want to do tonight, is introduce what I wanted to have on the channel. Music, fantasy video gaming, And maybe some other video gaming. I don't know. I mean, I could have a Gloomhaven evening with myself or some friends. I might play Destiny and shoot. I have no idea. I have no idea what I do on this. It's a fun outlet. It's interesting to design all this stuff, and as a creative person, designing it was a lot of fun. Like as soon as Kool-Aid said you could make your own scenes and your own graphics and your own GIFs, and I was like, oh no, anything creative, it's bad for me. It's like it's my biggest addiction. I guess there's worse things to be addicted to, but that's one of them. Okay, so let's find the jam spot of this song, and I know this is where this starts because we cut this section out earlier and kind of increase the drum sound, so it is very close to here where this is happening. So let's start from here. We're just going to listen to the second bass track. That's what we're going to be using. So we can just cut it from here. Yeah. One second. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. But I think I might have known. That spot sounded suspicious. Let's hear it on this track. Not mutes. Let's see. Oh, actually I do the same thing. I guess it's just because I'm not a bass player, so I just let that A string ring a little bit. I can live with it, especially since it's on both tracks, and I've been practicing this for like 2 weeks, so the chances of me not doing that on a take are probably slim to none. I think we'll go back with the original plan, unless this one is just absolutely horrific. Yeah, it's so small. It's so small. I'm just being picky perfectionist, so let's not worry about that. Okay, so where are we cutting into this? I believe we're cutting right here. And another thing we're going to be doing is removing all, you can see I've done it on all the guitar stuff too. Whenever there's dead space on a track, I don't care how good the recording is, you don't want any, like string squeals or anything that's going to pick up anything in the background. So we're going to take that out of the entire cut regardless. But let's go here. Let's blow this up just a little more. These little plus minus signs, which I do love. And we're going to take our cutting tool up here. And we're going to make a nice little slice. And then we're going to go over to the end, which is over here. Well, I got to make sure it all looks like sound waves to me. Yep, that's the one. So we're going to take that right after the last pop. That should be good enough, and we can mess with that after. Okay, so we've made our cuts here. So what's going to happen, we're going to do the same thing on the track that we are not currently using. Bonk. And another cut. I guess I could have selected both. I mean, I can get close enough because it's muted anyway, so it doesn't matter. But technically, when you're cutting into 2 tracks, just kind of like I did with the drums, you should be selecting both tracks. But because this one's going to be muted anyway, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so we're going to take this and we are going to, I wonder if I can just click and mute this from just a section. Sure can. Adobe, you responsive, lovely beast. We'll do this as well. Mute this here. Plunk. And then we already have that section muted, so we're going to go back to the front here. We don't need to solo it anymore. So now, as you can see, with this lovely color coding we have, let's blow this up a little bigger. So we've got our first track, which I liked more, playing all the way. Then we've got the little section. Oh, we're almost doubling ourselves. We got to do this little mute trick here. Bunk. And since we're here anyway, and we said we're going to do it, And we might as well. Let's just take out all those parts we were talking about, all the dead air that we don't need. And that's a great thing about Adobe. It literally is just, you just roll it up. It's so nice. So you wait for, I'll have to get a little closer. It's there's a certain icon that pops up when this happens, and it looks like a little, there it is. So you just roll it up, and then you get a little closer, and see this little square here? You can just add in a little fade. So that's what I like to do. So it just adds the fade into where the sound actually starts. So it's not just an abrupt pop. And we're going to have to do a little chopping work here. So just chop it at the end of the sound wave. Grab our selector tool. Roll up that rim to win. You can tell I'm Canadian. Over there. And then we continue on our journey of cuts. That seems okay. That seems okay. This is all notes we're playing. Oh, there we go. Chop tool. Well, there added a marker. I didn't want a marker. I want a cut. There we go. Roll that up. And add a little fade. And I think the next cut, yeah, that's what I thought, already exists. So we are just going to be adding the fade into that because this is muted. So select this track. And our box shows up. That's our second bass line that we liked that was playing the riff a lot better. And same thing here. Select this. Just roll it up just a touch. And continue on. I think it's just going to rock on to the end. And then what we have to do is we have to roll this back to match all the tracks, which is right here. It should give me a line. Perfect. And then I'm going to zoom in even more because I think I matched the fade on everything here. We got to get closer. Let's blow these up a bit. Yeah, see? So the fade on this is pretty far. So starts way over here. Let's extend it. Alright, so let's match. Yeah, there it is, that last note. You can kind of see where the sound wave is. Alright, so we should be able, we're going to listen to this puppy one more time, make sure there's no mistakes. And it's as good as it can get. Roll this all up so you can see it, and then this little tool shrinks it all up so you can see our entire performance. So we're here, we've got all the cuts are clean just like the rest. We got the second part of that bass going. We'll make sure that that's sounding good. Like I said, we're not going to worry about listening to the guitar part. We're just going to come in right where the bass is and pop. Boom. Air drum without sticks. There we go. I'm seriously like a trained air drummer. But if you get me behind an actual kit, I can't play worth shit, especially with fills. But I can drum the shit out of a table. And I'd be one of these drummers. Yep. My drummer always makes fun of me. He's like, stick flipping's for losers, just play the drums. I'm like, he's probably right. Sorry guys, I have to listen to that little section one more time. Alright, sorry. I apologize. I'm gonna mute this, I'm gonna solo this. I'm gonna unmute this. It's not big, okay? It's not gonna ruin my entire existence, but there's a little farty. I think that second one's better. Oh, Mark, get the song over with. God, you're picky. I think I have to do it. I have to do another cut. I'm going to make sure, though. Because it's mostly with the... Right? Just flowing. Okay, so that was the second one that I think I like better. Let's mute that. Unmute this. See how I did on the first track. Because it just seemed like it was a little fartastic. That one sounds great. Now, see? Stick with your original feelings, Mark. That sounded fine. You can get so picky in music. So picky in music. But that's okay. With the son of the devil, I will not cross the gates of Babylon. Sacrifice in the fire. I'm singing really quiet cause I got a 2-year-old sleeping upstairs. That's why I'm renting out a place for the vocals. There's no way she'd sleep through my shit. Yeah! I'm liking it so far. Right? Just isn't that nice? Just that 3 dB bump on that fill. Oh, it's because I muted this. There we go. I was like, where's my thing? Because I muted it. Apparently I'm good at muting stuff that doesn't need to be muted. I'm digging this take so far. Madrigal, this is so darn good, no one could sleep through this. I'm happy. I didn't want this channel. This is not an ASMR channel where, you know, we're trying to get people into deep sleep. We're hopefully trying to provide some form of entertainment. Oh, it's good. And then, see, that nice fade off should go with all the other tracks. Boom, gone. Excellent. Okay, lovely. I would say that is about as close as we're going to get to finished product. I am, because I just know I'm going to have to do it, is bass and bass 2. We are going to bring down by just a slight notch both of these. Because I'm not one of those people that, doesn't, like I don't bury the bass so low that you can't hear it, but at the same time, I want it to complement, especially in the chorus. Like I want people to really hear that boom, ba, 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 da, 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 but I don't want it to overtake everything, right? Because when the vocals come in, that should be the thing that, should be the focus, right? Everyone's got their little bit supporting, but I'm just... Yeah, right? Just cut a little so it's there. Yeah, perfect. I'm happy with that. All right, so let's swing this back to the very beginning file. And I have a computer that can actually do this now. So that makes me very, very, very excited, because if I had my old PC and I was exporting a file on a stream, we'd have to have some real deep conversations. And it would have had to last probably the better part of a half an hour. But I've got this new PC, so we should be able to export this file fairly quickly. Listen to the entirety with the trippy visuals, because that's how we listen to music on this channel. And then I'm just going to close out with some quick comments about the future of the stream, what's going to be happening. And the plan is... Actually, no, I'll get to that at the end of it. Let's export this, and then I'll close with that. So, export multi-track mix down. Entire session, please. We're going to call this Arthur Mixdown version 1 V1. It's going to go under Braxxis Access. Surprise, surprise. It's going to be MP3. We could listen to MP3. It'll be quicker. You know what? For tonight's purposes, let's listen to MP3. It's going to be quicker. I prefer waves, right? But because they're just bigger files. But for tonight, we can just do an MP3. It'll be super quick. 4 minutes. What? Not this computer. There we go. It was lying to me. I didn't really know what was going on. Okay, so while this is happening, and I'll go find that file that we can play later. Actually, you know what? While we're doing this, I can... Let's doing that. Let's open up another program. This is where we get all our fun, trippy visuals from. And we're going to go to File, and we're going to... So we are going to add to Media Library is where we're going to go. So it is going to show up in Braxxis Access. Okay, I just want to make sure I had that. Yeah, so while this is going to take another minute, 12 seconds, I'm actually glad we're doing MP3. So the next project we're going to do here, and trust me, what you're hearing tonight, I'm guaranteed I'm going to go back and tweak this. This is for tonight's purposes. Like I'm gonna mess with it, master it. There'll be more stuff going, but for the next song that we're going to do, and it's going to be called The Boys Ride Out. My plan is to, just do the rough fun mixes with you guys, bring in all the tracks, hear the songs together, play the original from 2016. So the next project that we're going to be doing is going to take a lot longer than this. This was close to a finished product, as far as I'm concerned, with what I enjoyed from my listening, because I don't know how other people mix. For myself, I just tweak stuff until I like what I hear in my headphones, and then I do a home stereo play, car stereo play, just to get the different sources. But it's music's personal, right? So you just mix it how you want it to sound, right? So we're gonna save all our presets. So every instrument that we recorded on this was done on the same weekend. So all these wave files that we are going to be mixing should sound the same. So when I import all the drum tracks for The Boys Ride Out and apply the same effects I have to this song, it should be very close sounding to where it should be. So we're going to get out of this section now, and we're going to go back to our music player scene. And we're going to get out of this. We're going to open up Winamp here, and we are going to bring in that file, add to Media Library, or should we add to Playlist? Yeah, whatever, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, Braxxis Access, where did this go? Wonder if it's under Arthur. It's a file find time. Okay, Braxxis Access. Did this just... Oh, it just ended up as... It's just in a whatever. I wonder if I can drag this in. Would that ever be cool? They let you do that? No, of course they don't. Not cool. So this just... So we want music. So where did this go? Braxxis Access. Do I have to put it in a folder? Are they making this that difficult on me? Okay, so let's put it in Arthur. Let's do that. Weird. I don't know why this isn't working. Okay, so how about we just play a file? Let's do that instead of bringing it in. And Arthur Mixdown 1. Oh no, we're looking for version 1. Arthur version 1. Donation, rate, subscribe, old mixes. Alright. So hopefully there's bass on this file. Mixdown 1. Ah, there is bass. Yay! I love that little bass line. Boom. I'm pretty happy with this mix so far. Had to change the year from 2016 to 2020 here. Whew! Man, that is fun. Holy cow. So that is gonna wrap it up for this first episode 1 of Braxxis Axis. And like I said, this is going to be the music portion. We're going to do a whole bunch of this. The album that we were talking about at the beginning of this stream, which is one I wrote in 2016, is Full Disclosure. I believe there's 11 songs to that album that we're going to be recording, mixing. The first one we did tonight was Arthur. And as I said before, that was a pretty close, it was almost a final product when we did it tonight. So on further streams, we're going to be doing it from the very beginning. So it's one of those things where it's going to be mostly done in producer mode. It's probably not going to be as exciting for as many people. It's a little selfish of me, but I kind of want this for myself as well. Just look back on anyone that wants to join and has any questions. Of course, please do. It'd be wonderful to see you. As far as the Divinity campaigns, though, this is what I wanted to leave this stream off with, is that I'm currently looking for players, streamers that want to be part of this. So if anyone sees this or knows anyone or can reach out to someone to see if they're interested, these campaigns are super fun. Am I going to do as good of a job as Matt Mercer as DMing one of these things? No, there's no way in hell that's going to happen. But I'm going to try my best, and I have quite a few accents, at my disposal. Absolutely fantastically horrible British accents. So many I can do for you. Scottish, Irish. It's fun. I really enjoy it, and I do practice all the roles and characters, and I will do my best to bring those players into that world that I've created. And these campaigns, the shortest one was The Light of Succession, and that was still over 3 months. And the Last Conquest, I think it was over half a year I worked on that. So they're pretty elaborate campaigns, and I would just love to share them with everyone. So that is it for me for this evening for Braxxis Access. I'd like to thank anyone that showed up, stuck around. Really do appreciate it. This is super fun for me, and I guess we will just sign off with see you later, see you next time. One thing I should note is My wife is a registered nurse, so she has shift work. So as far as me having a consistent, I'll be streaming every week, put it that way. But I don't know if I can commit to like a guaranteed Monday. My plan is Monday, Thursday, and when the campaigns start, the majority of Sunday, because they're going to be longer game sessions. They're not going to be hour and 50-minute streams. They're going to be 4-hour streams probably, right, to get through the campaigns. But I will be streaming every week. I just can't commit to an actual set date. So thank you so much. We will see you next time. Take care.